had a big scare yesterday. I listened to David Pakman in the morning, and we're gonna watch a little clip of that. And he's talking about how Social Security could face a disruption, and a little disruption could have a big impact. And I wrote down a couple things in January 20 of 2025. About 73 million people got Social Security in the form of retirement, disability, supplemental security, SSI. The average monthly payout is about $133 billion. Billion dollars. And what do these people spend the money on that they get? People who paid into Social Security. Now, SSI, I don't think people paid into SSI, but it is a form of Social Security. But for retirement and disability payments, you have to have paid in to get that money. And so it's your money, right? But what do you use that money for people who are on Social Security? I'm retired. Hello. Um, but we spend it on rent, utilities, food, medical bills, medicine, auto expenses, and gas. So if you suddenly just took all that money, whether it was a technical error or something more disastrous, like we're just not paying you anymore, even if somebody didn't get their check for 1 month, they would be thrown into a spiral because a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. And listen to hear what David Pakman says.
The guy who ran the agency just put out a dire warning and said that we could see Social Security collapse in the next 30 to 90 days, not because it'll be out of money, but because Trump let Musk's so-called Doge slash funding and gut agency staff. And they've already caused system outages. And if the system goes down, no checks, no benefits, no nothing. Now, who's going to get hurt? Is it going to be Trump and his friends? No. Retirees will be at risk. Disabled Americans will be at risk. People who have lost a spouse and now get survivor benefits are going to be at risk. If you need to file a new claim, maybe it's for retirement, maybe it's for disability, good luck, because there may not be enough employees left to process those new claims. The Trump-Musk cuts are so extreme that the Social Security Administration started paying people to leave, offering early buyouts to workers. This is not about efficiency. This is a backdoor benefit cut. Congressman John Larson from Connecticut put it very bluntly. He said that if you lay off half the workforce and shut down field offices, it will delay, disrupt, or lead to denial of benefits. And the kicker is that the guy Trump just picked to run Social Security isn't even confirmed yet. He's a financial tech CEO, not a government official, not an expert on Social Security. So this is how they'll do it. You have to.
Okay, so what he's saying is we're not going to immediately see this happen. It's not going to be like Trump goes up to the microphone and says, hey, I'm cutting Social Security today. It's a backdoor way by cutting staff and making access to benefits impossible, and anybody there to fix any kind of glitch or any kind of problem, there's not going to be anybody there to do it because the staff is going to be so slim. So if you're coming up on retirement age, nixed, because at this point, you may be okay today if you can get through to Social Security, but with all these backdoor cuts, there may not be anybody there to take your call and to have you, to approve your paperwork. And God forbid you're trying to get on disability because that's already been backed up for years. People are having a lot of trouble with that. And now they're cutting staff. I know in Arkansas, they've closed offices around the state. It's coming. It's coming. And people don't really realize that. So let me check. Okay. Now, here's what on MSNBC, what they're saying about how Trump is coming for Social Security, and he's using similar tactics to when he said that the election was rigged in 2020 when he lost to Biden. Is that the right year? In 2020, when he lost to Biden, that everything was rigged. Dead people were voting. I think they found like a few dead people voted, right? You're going to have some of that stuff's going to happen. But he used that lie to get the courts, to tie up the courts, to tie everything up in the courts, to make everybody think that Biden was not the legitimate president, and he was. Okay. And it all washed out. And now, it's okay if Trump wins, then the election's fine. But if he loses, he tells you that it was rigged. So let's hear this.
Aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty.
Identical, right? He sees dead people again. The dead people voting in the Georgia election, the dead people getting checks from Social Security, all the dead people committing fraud. Suggesting that Americans who died long ago are still having their Social Security checks delivered to someone and somehow cashing them in their name, even though they're dead and there's a death certificate. Again, think about it for 20 seconds. It's obviously preposterous. In fact, a government investigation last year found that from 2015 through 2022, 7 years, of all the money the agency paid out in benefits, and that is $8.6 trillion, a staggering sum, less than 1% was improper payments. That's a really good record. And most of the erroneous payments were overpayments to living people. I mean, again, think about this, right? In the same way if you think through the dead people voting at scale issue. If you have ever had a loved person die when they were on Social Security, the checks don't keep coming. Also, Social Security automatically stops payments to people who are 115 years old. It's capped there, which I'm sure is a bureaucratic headache for the handful of Americans who live that long. The version of the lie Trump and his unelected co-president Elon Musk are telling appears to be based on their inability to read the data they collected, because Social Security's software system necessitates that some entries with missing or incomplete birth dates will default to a reference point of more than 150 years ago.
So again, Trump is lying about this massive fraud in Social Security in order to get people to soften to him taking it away. Now, I keep trying to get the point across to the American people that listen to me, which isn't a whole lot, but it's coming for all of us. Because if you take, let's just say that 10 out of 100 people in your neighborhood are on Social Security and they no longer draw a check, what are they going to do? A lot of people can't live without their Social Security check. And if the system fails, meaning the computer crashes or there's some kind of error, like God forbid, you didn't get your check this month and you try to call and there's nobody there to answer and there's no way to fix it. It's scary, and it's scary for your friends and your neighbors and your family who are in need of this support, of the millions and millions of people who have paid into this over the years. And now you're at risk of losing this in a time in your life when you can't work. And where's there going to be a job for all these people? There's not going to be a job for all these people. If you cut their Social Security and they say, well, I'm retired, but, I've got to eat, so let me go get a job, where are they going to go? I just want to give y'all things to think about and to realize that not everything you hear is the truth. So please stay tuned. I'm trying to reach out to people on the level that we're at. We're not all wealthy people. And you've got to be able to figure out truth from lies. And I know Trump. I know there's people who think Trump never tells a lie and that he's the king. He wants to be king of America, but he's not. We don't elect kings. And he's doing a lot of things. And just today, he's held back on the Mexico tariffs for a month. Now, why does he do these tariffs where he does a tariff and then he goes, oh, well, we'll wait a month? He just did that. And now he's doing it again with Mexico. And so is this a, stock market thing where he can go buy stock because people are panicking, and you can get, the rich people can go buy things while the stock market's crashing, and then it'll go up in value. What is going on with Trump? People, please take care of your friends and your neighbors, and think about what's going on, and think about what you can do to stop it. Call your Congress people, call them, talk to people, find the truth. Don't always look at what's on face value, because there's backdoors to this stuff, like we were just talking about earlier. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you don't mind, hit that like button so I can get some more people to, see my videos and find out what I'm talking about over here. Have a great day.